Hi, my name is L.Berssenbruegge with Aspen University. This is a presentation about on Module 4, different scenarios that could occur in a consultation relationship and how to appropriately respond in order to offer experiences and helpful problem-solving techniques that the consultee might not have considered themselves. So the consultation relationship is it's very similar to the therapeutic relationship. So you have a client and a therapist who are trying to interact and get to know each other. They're building trust. They are listening to each other. They are working on things that promote consonance and cohesion. So the consultation relationship is very similar. Consultants are considered the experts, and consultees are the ones who are seeking services. However, that dynamic doesn't always have to be set in stone. You know, that the consultee can offer their own experiences and their own problem-solving techniques, and they can really dialogue and come up with a technique that could be very effective in providing services to the clients. So the end goal is interesting. The end goal is always client service, and so the consultant and the consultee come together with this common goal of helping people and coming up with ways to potentially solve a problem that might not be it might not be black and white. It might be a lot of gray areas that they need to work through. So the consultation relationship is all about building trust. It's about providing feedback. There are many different variables that might impact the relationship or the interaction. So when you're initiating it, you need to make sure that you understand that the consultant variables are very important, and they might impact the relationship. Talking about different personalities, talking about experience, talking about values. The client variables, you know, what population are we working with, what age, mental health status. The services that are provided are not always able to be not subjective. You know, it might require a lot of individual attention. And the last one, the treatment variables, you know, we have the environmental things and the behaviors associated with the desirable intervention. So the different scenarios that are listed in this assignment are hypothetical, and those are hard just because it's, you know, all those variables that I just talked about kind of come into play. And so the first scenario, the consultee says that their job is stressful. They never imagined that managing a staff of 7 could be so draining. Everybody has different agendas, and no one seems to understand that I can't please everybody all the time. The first consultant expresses empathy, and they say that the pressure that the consultee is experiencing is impacting their job. And he relates to the person and says, you know, no one seems to realize how hard it is. So this empathy is recognizing the consultee's feelings. It's reflecting statements that are helpful in building that relationship and making sure that both parties understand that they're on the same page. The second consultant, that response, you know, is very abrasive, actually. It says, you know, just from talking to you for 10 minutes, I can see that you're not assertive enough and your employees have lost respect for you. I think one goal of our work together could help you to be more assertive. I really like that recommendation of assertiveness. I think the delivery was poor. You know, telling a consultee who already recognizes that, you know, they're not as effective as they would like to be, having to tell them that they're not assertive enough could be very harmful in the situation. You know, you can provide that feedback without that poor delivery. Excuse me. So I think if I were the consultant in this scenario, I would definitely take the components of both of those responses that are good and combine them into a more helpful delivery. You know, I would definitely express my concern that assertiveness and setting boundaries is going to be important for that consultee. And I would also talk about how developing tools to set boundaries with the staff and make sure that, it's okay that everybody isn't happy, because you can't please everybody, and that's, but the consultee has already expressed the fact that they understand that, and it's not about keeping people happy, so the consultant doesn't need to point that out. The second scenario is talking about a one case, one individual. The girl's name is Madison, and she says that she's really worried about Madison, that she seems to cry too easily, and then wonders if there's something going on at home. The first consultant talks about how they need more information. It says, "Tell me more about what you're seeing." The going on a fact-finding mission and in gathering information about the situation, asking clarifying questions. The consultant, it's very important for them to make sure that they understand what the consultee is expressing. So the second consultant says, "What time is the next faculty meeting?" Don't know what that means. Don't know if that's something that he's considering, asking the consultee to consider bringing it up at the next faculty meeting, if they're distracted and not paying attention, or I'm not really sure how that's relevant to the situation. If and when a consultee presented this situation to me, I would definitely want to know more information. Is something going on at home, perhaps, and as therapists, we are mandated reporters. So it would be important to express to the consultee if they do expect or suspect something going on at home, then you'd want to follow through with the recommendation of reporting it to the appropriate agencies. The other thing that I might suggest to this consultee is exploring alternate options. Why are we assuming that something's going on at home? What if something's going on at school? What if the student has expressed their concerns and their experiences to perhaps a school counselor or a school psychologist already? So the teacher and the treatment team can really dive into this case and figure out exactly what's going on so that they can better help the student. And another thing that I think that would be important in this consultation hypothetical situation is making sure that you're being supportive of the situation, and making sure that validating that person's concerns, and to really come up with a thorough ethical decision making type of thing, and considering all the variables so that the student is well taken care of. So as a consultant in either one of these situations, I would definitely encourage the consultee to lay out the ethical decision-making process, because it's very regimented and it's very helpful, and you can kind of walk them through those different stages of coming up with solutions, coming up with all the variables that could be impacting their ability to make an ethical decision. So I think that's all I have, and the consultation relationship is very important, just to provide that feedback and that supervision and that mentorship that is so important when you're talking about providing care to so many different people and providing individualized treatment. So my references came from our textbook for this course. The authors are Brown, Przwanski, and Schulte. The title is Psychological Consultation and Collaboration, Introduction to Theory and Practice. The year is 2011, 7th edition, and it's Upple-Saddle River, New Jersey. Pearson is the editor. So thanks for listening, and I hope you found this interesting. Sorry for my rambling a little bit, but it's interesting to have a one-sided conversation about all these things. Thanks for listening. Bye.